Wow, 9 years. It's weird to think that Halloween 2018 is the first Halloween movie we've gotten in 9 years. Was it worth the 9-year wait? Well, let's find out, shall we? Halloween 2018 is the first of a new timeline in this franchise. This timeline ignores all the sequels and just sticks to the original. Halloween 2018 takes place 40 years after Laurie Strode survived her encounter with Michael Myers. We see her as a recluse who has a strained relationship with her family and is waiting for Michael to return, which Michael does. After a bus transfer goes wrong, he escapes and returns to Haddonfield to cause mayhem once again, and it is up to Laurie to stop Michael once again and protect her family. In my opinion, Halloween 2018 is the best Halloween movie since Halloween 4. But that doesn't mean I love this movie. Don't get me wrong, I do like it, but I do have issues with it. With that being said, before I get to my positives, I'm going to get into my negatives first, just to get them out of the way. My first issue was more of a nitpick. The title. Halloween. Really? You couldn't think of another title? Why not call it Halloween Returns or Halloween Rises, Halloween Lives? Those titles would have fit perfectly. Just saying Halloween 2018, well, it does have a bit of a nice ring to it, does get kind of old after a while, because now there are 3 movies in this franchise that are called Halloween, so a subtitle would have fit a little better. My second problem with this movie has to do with the podcasters. So when I first saw the trailers, I thought the podcasters were going to play a big role in this movie. Maybe have Aaron become the new Loomis, since he's the Myers expert and he'll go around warning people of Michael's presence. But instead they're quickly killed off and just gave Michael a reason to get his mask back. And I have to admit, that's a pretty wasted opportunity. I would have preferred these two over Dr. Sartain. Speaking of which, the whole twist of Dr. Sartain being evil makes no sense. It just comes out of nowhere. And his whole motive for being evil, trying to understand the psychology of Michael, just didn't make a whole lot of sense. But my biggest issue with this movie is the humor. There is way too much of it and is often used at inappropriate times. There's barely any jokes I laughed at here, such as the dad saying,
"Oh man, I got peanut butter on my penis."
Ew.
And then you have the kid Julian, who I will admit is pretty funny, saying,
Oh shit!
This is a scene that we're supposed to be scared of, but we're too busy laughing at this kid to take it seriously. And then after the reveal of Dr. Sartain being crazy, we cut to these 2 random cops talking about their lunch.
Me sandwich. Banh mi is essentially just the Vietnamese.
It's not funny, and it kills the mood. But yeah, those are my negatives. I wanted to get them out of the way. Now let's get into the positives of this movie. The opening title sequence in this movie is fantastic. All we see is this rotten pumpkin slowly rejuvenate itself back to the original 1978 pumpkin, which I see as a metaphor for how long this series has been dormant. This pumpkin shows this franchise is back to basics. No druid cults, no Busta Rhymes, no white horses, just the classic Halloween. John Carpenter, along with his son Cody and Daniel Davies, do a great job with the music in this movie. I've always been a sucker for 80s electronic dark synth music that we usually see in a lot of older horror movies, and this movie is no exception. My favorite track is The Shape Hunts Allison. It's just so eerie, and I even used it as an alarm clock for a little bit. I just like the song that much. Once again, Jamie Lee Curtis is amazing and surprisingly badass as Laurie Strode. I actually don't mind the whole Sarah Connor route they went with her. It just makes her a lot more badass and more prepared. I felt her PTSD was done a little better here than in H2O because we really see the effects that it has on her family as well as herself. She is now an alcoholic recluse. Multiple failed marriages, her daughter was taken away from her by social services. She's just in a rough spot, and once Michael comes back, she enacts her long-time plan. And the rest of the cast do a good job as well, such as Andy Machentag, Judy Greer, Will Patton, and although I found him annoying, Toby Huss as Ray did a good job too. James Jude Courtney is without a doubt the best actor to ever play Michael Myers. He is so intimidating, brutal, and badass, it's great. When I think of the boogeyman, this unfeeling monster, I think of him. And what I love about James Jude Courtney's Michael is he is back to being the embodiment of pure evil, and since Michael and Laurie are not siblings in this continuity, he does not have a motive. He is just walking chaos again. Michael is one of the things I feel they did better here than in H2O, because Chris Duran's Michael was not intimidating, he was a buffoon, a clown, and a pussy who would always get slapped around. The kills in this movie are brutal and fantastic. My jaw dropped when I saw Michael snap a kid's neck. And it's his first victim. And this shows that Michael in this movie is not holding back at all. What makes him scarier is he's an old man now, and he's still strangling people. He's still stomping people's heads in. And then we have the best thing that this movie does better than H2O, the big fight between Laurie and Michael. In H2O, the fight between the two of them was just too comical and lame. But here, the final fight between the two of them is great. They beat the shit out of each other. And the movie ends with 3 generations of Strode locking Michael in a safe room in Laurie's house and setting it ablaze. Holy crap, that shot of him just standing there while the house burns down is so creepy. That really was an awesome fight, and there's no way Michael can come back from that, and this felt like a great conclusion. There's 2 more after this? God damn it! In conclusion, despite its flaws, I still think Halloween 2018 is a damn good movie. I'm glad we didn't get stuck with another mediocre or terrible sequel. It's something that helps wash out the bad taste of 5 through the Rob Zombie movies out of my mouth. Definitely check this out. Final rating, 4 out of 5.